We picture ancient Greece and Rome as marble statues, togas, and endless philosophy debates, but while Socrates was asking questions and Caesar was crossing rivers, somebody else on the block was building the first robot, pouring concrete that would outlast most modern buildings, pushing water across entire empires with better pressure than some hotel showers today. The real gods of Olympus weren't lounging on clouds. They were engineers, and their machines are still shaping your world. Stick around, because the next 9 minutes are about to rewrite what you think ancient means. Imagine trying to place a 20-ton block of marble the size of a school bus on top of columns 30 feet in the air without a single engine. Greek crews did exactly that every time they raised a temple. Their secret? The polyspaston, a crane powered by human treadmills and iron winches that multiplied force through a stack of pulleys. One inscription on the Temple of Apollo at Delphi brags the machine lifted blocks. A man could not budge with his bare hands. Even better, these cranes were mobile. Wooden frames sat on 4 wheels, so the same rig could travel from column to column like an ancient tower crane. The Romans copied the design, added iron hooks the size of your arm, and suddenly the Colosseum's seating tiers went up in record time. Next time you see a modern crane pivot on a city skyline, picture a Greek foreman shouting, "Left a bit," while slaves power a treadwheel. Same physics, different hard hats. Every modern builder knows the dread of a 50-year concrete lifespan. The Romans cracked that. Their opus caementicium mixed volcanic ash, lime and rubble into a goo that kept gaining strength for centuries. Pour it into wooden forms, let it set underwater, strip the boards, and you've got a rock that welds itself to its neighbors. The Pantheon's dome, still the world's largest unreinforced concrete dome, has been weathering Roman rain for 19 centuries, while nearby steel-reinforced bridges built in the 1970s are already shedding chunks. Engineers today chase self-healing concrete by adding bacteria or polymers. The Romans just needed ash from Pozzuoli and patience next time you walk through a modern subway tunnel lined with shotcrete. Thank a Roman who figured out that the right recipe turns limestone and dust into immortal stone. Rome grew to 1 million people faster than any city before the Industrial Revolution, yet its citizens took daily baths and flushed latrines thanks to 11 aqueducts snaking in from the hills. The entire network relied on one rule: a constant downhill slope of 2% over miles of terrain. Surveyors called grammatici used bronze levels and marked lines across valleys, through mountains and on top of arches to keep gravity perpetually on their side. Where hills blocked the way, they carved inverted siphons, sealed U-shaped pipes that pressurized water so hard it could leap uphill. Public fountains flowed 24/7, private homes paid by the pipe diameter, and a culture of cleanliness became the empire's billboard. Turn on your kitchen tap and you're duplicating a Roman's morning routine, minus the lead pipe paranoia. After a long campaign, a Roman legionary wanted more than a campfire. He wanted toasty bathroom floors back at the fort. Enter the hypocaust, a raised stone floor propped on brick piers so hot air from a furnace could flow underneath and up clay tubes in the walls. Bathhouses became tropical lounges even when snow piled outside. Wealthy villas copied the trick, adding underfloor mosaics that stayed warm to the bare foot. The tech vanished in medieval Europe. Europeans returned to smoky halls for 1,000 years. Today, every radiant floor heating system is a reincarnation of that Roman air corridor, just swapping a boiler for a wood-fired stokehole. Hero of Alexandria was the Elon Musk of 60 AD, except he had to invent his own electrons. His aeolipile was a bronze sphere mounted on axles. Steam from a cauldron shot through bent tubes and spun the sphere at thousands of RPM, essentially a tabletop steam turbine. He also built coin-operated holy water dispensers for temples. Drop a drachma, the coin lands on a pan, tilts a lever, opens a valve, and bingo, piety on tap. These weren't curiosities, they were business models. The same gear trains that opened temple doors automatically later inspired medieval clockmakers. Every time you board a jet engine spinning on a shaft, you're riding a great-great-grandchild of Hero's spinning sphere. Philo of Byzantium described a mechanical maid that walked, poured wine, and then refilled your cup, powered by mercury and air pressure. Imperial banquets featured metal doves that flapped wings and sang when a cover was lifted. Guests knew gears were involved, they just couldn't see how. The wow factor cemented political prestige. If your host can stage engineer a flying cupbearer, maybe his tax policies deserve respect too. The same psychology fuels today's tech launches. Impress first, explain later. When a modern robot greets you at a Tokyo hotel, remember, a Greek hostess once did the same trick with bronze, leather, and a hidden water tank. Roman surveyors planted milestones every 4,854 feet, not arbitrary, that's a Roman mile. Distances were engraved so legions could compute marching times like a logistics app. Layered roads started with sand, then fist-sized stones, then gravel cemented with lime, crowned in the middle for drainage. The Via Appia, begun in 312 BC, still carries trucks near Rome. Modern asphalt highways last 20 years. Some Roman stretches are on their 2,100th birthday with only minor potholes. When your GPS says, "Take the second exit," it's piggybacking on a numbering system that once told a centurion how far to the next inn. The round arch seems simple, but it's math in stone. Each wedge-shaped voussoir transfers load sideways into the next block, so the middle stone, the keystone, locks the curve under compression. Greek lintels sag over time. Roman arches get stronger under load. Stack arches into a barrel vault and you can roof a cathedral-sized bath hall. Spin an arch in a circle and you have a dome that floats on its own weight distribution. The Pantheon's oculus isn't just a skylight, it's a compression ring that saves 2,000-year-old concrete from cracking under its own mass. Every bridge you drive over is still quoting that Roman spreadsheet. Before rotary mills, grain was ground by hand with quern stones, think hours of elbow grease. Romans bolted water wheels to geared mill races and let rivers do the grunt work. Barbagol in southern France had 16 wheels in parallel, cranking out 4.5 tons of flour per day, enough to feed the nearby city of Arelate. That's an assembly line 1,800 years before Henry Ford. Medieval Europe would later forget the concept, returning to ox-powered mills. Today, every hydroelectric turbine is a distant cousin of those French paddles, just swapping bread kilowatts for electron volts. In 1901, sponge divers hauled up a shoebox of corroded bronze from a wreck near Crete. Inside were 30 interlocking gears, precise enough to simulate the sun's 400-year cycle, predict eclipses, and track the Olympic Games' 4-year schedule. Nothing as intricate would appear again until medieval astronomical clocks 1,400 years later. Researchers in 2021 used X-ray tomography to read hidden inscriptions inside the wheels, basically ancient user manuals. The device flips our narrative. Greeks didn't just contemplate the cosmos, they machined it into bronze. Next time you check your phone's calendar, picture a Greek sailor winding a handle to know when the next eclipse would darken the Aegean. If any of these machines blew your mind, subscribe to our channel for more interesting content on history. Let us know in the comments which ancient tech has amazed you. You'll see how medieval engineers rebooted lost Roman tricks, and how today's engineers are still cribbing notes from toga-wearing inventors. Don't let the algorithm gods decide for you. Click and keep the ancient future rolling. History classes gave us marble busts and Latin verbs, but the true legacy of Greece and Rome is mechanical. Cranes that heft, concrete that endures, roads that calculate, and computers cast in bronze. These aren't museum footnotes. They're the grandparent blueprints humming under every modern city. So next time someone says ancient, like it means primitive, remind them the first robot poured wine 2 millennia before Siri could pour a playlist. The past isn't behind us, it's the foundation code still running.